Cole Harkey, Ryan Barnett, and Jose Gomez. In the middle, James Eady, along with Noe Mate, the center, Andre Polomas, and the libero, Jacob Riley. Head coach of the Waves is Jonathan Winder. In his fourth season, associate head coaches Matthew Pollock and Luke Reynolds. Assistant is Will Kraft. And the Waves start things off by serving, moving left to right. They're in their white, blue, and orange. And the Cardinals in their black, white, and cardinal. Waves, Polomas on the left side, and on the left wing, Jose Gomez starts things up and gets the point, and the Waves take a 1-0 lead. And last night, Gomez led Pepperdine with 14 kills while hitting .432. For Stanford, as you see Jonathan Winder in his fourth season, last year's MPSF Coach of the Year. For Stanford, they make a few changes. They'll start at center. Jacob Little Phillips, 6'2 freshman from Winter Park, Florida. The serve comes up short and side out to Stanford. On the outside, Alex Rotman along with Moses Wagner and David Wolf. In the middle, Reed Wainwright along with Luke McFall. And the libero is Evan Porter. Head coach of the Cardinal is John Costi in his 20th season. And the Waves take a 2-1 lead. James Eady as the Waves go to a quick attack. Polomas, who had a great night last night, he had 41 assists in just the 3 sets, better than 13 assists. And for Polomas, he comes in averaging 10.18 assists per set. He's having an All-American season wearing number 5 of the Waves, the setter, the transfer from Purdue Fort Wayne, where he was the starting setter last year. Waves go out of the back row. Gomez in a big block up front. Luke McFall coming up with the stop. McFall at 6'9", the redshirt junior out of Pleasanton, California. Also coming over, Moses Wagner to defend, and we're tied at 2. It's the best 3 out of 5. The first 4 sets, they'll play to 25. You must win by 2. If they go to a set 5, they'll play to 15. Again, you must win by 2. And there is no cap as Cole Harkey gets the put down. Harkey last night had 13 kills while hitting .476. And for Harkey, comes in leading the NCAA in kills per set at 4.28. He also tops Pepperdine with 338 kills while hitting .356. And the Waves take a 4-2 lead early. You see Moses Wagner along with Cole Harkey, both those players, as we may get a challenge here early in set number 1. The point was given to Pepperdine, who takes a 4-2 lead. We'll see what the call will be as Bert Fuller takes a look. He's the down official, Tony Chan, the up official. They did work last night's match in this 2-match series, a series that dates back to 1974, and Pepperdine leads the series 70-30. Take a look here. Trying to get a hand on was Gomez. And the call on the court was attack here, and the point given to Pepperdine, but Stanford saying that maybe have been touched. And of course, for the coaches, they will ask the players, what'd you see, if the coach didn't have a clear look. Each coach gets 2 challenges per set. If you win your challenge, you keep it. If you lose it, you're down 1. You see Bert Fuller talking with courtside.
After further review, the call on the board has been reversed.
And the call will be reversed, and Stanford has won the challenge. The ball apparently touched by Pepperdine, and the point to Stanford. We're tied at 3 as you take a look at Jonathan Winder in his 4th season, the former Pepperdine All-American, 4-time All-American from 2005 through 2008, and he was the National Player of the Year in 2007. Ball hit by Harkey trying to save Stanford. They're able to punch it back over. Polomas goes back to Harkey, who drives it. Popped up by Little Phillips. On the other side, Wolfo hits it and gets the kill. It was touched. Pretty good rally. Pepperdine trailing 4-3 in the first set. Waves played so well last night, hitting 580 against an excellent Stanford team. As you take another look by Wolf getting the start tonight in place of Nate Clinton. Pepperdine also held Stanford to just a 173 hitting percentage. Moses Wagner led the Cardinal with 11 kills. Kept alive once again by Stanford. Wolf with the block up front. Archie along with James Eady defending, and Noe Mate. And we're even at 4. So for last night, the Waves were able to outblock Stanford 12-2. Diggs, this certainly was the key to the Waves hitting 580. The Waves had 27 digs, Stanford only 11. So the Cardinal needs to improve their ball handling and receiving and able to get into their offense as they come in on the season hitting 276. A 27-11 in digs. As the Waves had a good balanced attack. They got 13 kills from Harkey, Gomez 14, and Ryan Barnett with 13 kills and 7 digs. And Jacob Wiley had 7 digs. Playing with the 5-5, Waves serving Ryan Barnett. First team All-American last year, 6'5" graduate senior from West Hampton Beach, New York. He is third on the team with 33 aces, and he gets himself an ace. Waves last night had 3 aces and 14 service errors. The one thing Stanford did do well, they kept the ball in play, and they did have 5 aces and only 9 errors. Waves are a strong serving team as they about aced their opponents 186 to 110. That's a big differential. For Stanford on the year, 91 aces, but the opponent's 98. And we're even at 6. That ball goes out of bounds, and David Wolf will be at the service line. Wolf played last night, the 6'6" sophomore from Wilmette, Illinois, outside hitter. Backside, Harkey with a smash hit. Cole Harkey, along with Moses Wagner, are 2 of 8 players on the ABCA National Player of the Year watch list. It's been cut down to just 8 players. A chance to be the National Player of the Year. And so Harkey, the 6'10" sophomore, and Wagner, the 6'6" senior out of San Jose. We're tied at 7 in set number 1 as you see Little Phillips getting the start, the freshman who comes in averaging better than 7 assists per set. For Stanford, they had high expectations. Currently, they're in 5th place in the conference. They were picked 4th at the start of the year. They're 6-5 in league. Ball out of the back row, Ryan Barnett. Waves take an 8-7 lead in the first set. Pepperdine, that was picked 2nd at the start of the season, and currently tied for first place with UCLA. Both teams at 10-1. Waves serving, moving left to right. Little Phillips finds out of the back row, David Wolf. Wolf able to score, and we're even at 8. For Pepperdine, also an excellent blocking team. They've outblocked their opponents 378 to 271. They really have dominated the net all season long. This is Gomez. Oh, the big block up front. Alex Rotman. You would expect this to be a very tough match for Pepperdine, trying to beat a team back-to-back. Also, McFall defending on Gomez, the 6'4" sophomore from Cuba, who plays on the Cuba's national team. Polo Mas on the left side. Cole Harkey. Pepperdine takes the lead, all tied at 9-9 in the first set. Waves serving. Harkey, 2nd team All-American last year. He was the MPSF Freshman of the Year. 6'10" sophomore from Barrington, Illinois, as that service goes out of bounds, side out to Stanford. So these teams meeting back-to-back, and as you look at this match, is there an advantage for one team or the other? Waves are playing at home, so that gives them somewhat of an edge, and they just beat Stanford last night, so they're playing with a lot of confidence and coming into this match feeling pretty good about themselves. Waves as Riley able to handle it. Ball popped up, tapped over by Wolf. It comes back to Pepperdine, and the Waves go Harkey.
with the finish.
We are even at 10. So for the Waves, pretty confident, but for Stanford, they're going to be very much motivated. Something to prove in tonight's match. They're going to play with a lot of intensity, a lot of energy, and the Waves are going to have to match that intensity. So if there was any kind of an edge, maybe slightly to the team that lost the night before. But we'll find out. It doesn't guarantee them a win. And the Waves, ranked number 5 in the nation, have won 12 of their last 14. And Stanford has dropped their last 5 matches. That one gets away by McFall and goes out of bounds. And the Waves lead 12 to 10. Pepperdine, one of the best offensive teams in the nation. They come in as a team hitting .377. That's number 4 in the NCAA. UCLA, the top hitting team, better than .380. Off the blocks, Moses Wagner gets the kill. 12 to 11 in favor of Pepperdine. There were only 4 ties and 3 lead changes in the entire match last night between these two schools. So I figure this could be a lot closer the second time around. Waves had won both matches last year up at Stanford. Coming out of the back row is Hartke, but it goes long. No attack here. Waves hitting .312 to start the match. Stanford at 154. Going to get a timeout, maybe a challenge. Let's wait and see. We are even at 12. You see Cole Hartke will be challenged. The call on the court was a point to Stanford, attack air. But Pepperdine thinking maybe it might have been touched or maybe was inbounds, so they'll take a look at this one. I think for both coaches, they will certainly try to keep this close and not let one team or the other get too far out in front and utilize those challenges and timeouts. John Costi, the head coach of the Cardinals, 20th season overall. Before getting the head coaching job, he was an assistant at Stanford for 16 years. In 2010 and 2014, John Costi was the MPSF Coach of the Year. We'll take a look at what the officials are looking at. This is Hartke with the hit. Wolf is there, along with Wainwright, and then McFall's in the back row. He didn't touch it. Couldn't quite tell if it was inbounds or not. But then talking about John Costi, who played his volleyball at Santa Barbara, graduating in 1987. He was a setter. He was an All-American. His 36th year overall at Stanford, and he's pretty proud of his son, who was one of the starters setter at UC Irvine. Cameron was a 6'5" freshman. And for Stanford and John Costi, they won the national title in 2010, and John Costi was the 2010 National Coach of the Year. Stanford's won 2 national titles. Pepperdine, second most all-time with 5 national titles, but none since 2005. And, of course, UCLA number 1 with 21, and they won titles in 23 and 24. And the favorite to win it all this year, as they will host the semis and championship at Pauley Pavilion on May 9th and 11th. Tournament begins May 1st and 2nd. 12 teams this year will be in the NCAA tournament, which means a number of at-large schools will get in, probably mainly from the MBSF and the Big West. And still taking a long look. NCAA has allowed 3 minutes for the officials to take a look. They've actually put that in. I mean, that's the suggested time, but this is moving on a little bit longer than expected. We're 12 to 12. See Hartke, the double blockers there, but it's tough to tell on that. McFall let it go right by his right shoulder. Did it bounce in? Slow it down, or close. So as they continue to look at this, for Pepperdine next week, they play home and home against USC. Stanford will be at Menlo on the 17th and 18th. BYU knocked off USC last night in a big match, 3-1. So for the Trojans, who are ranked number 4, And currently in third place at 8-3. Pepperdine and UCLA both 10-1. They're finally going to get a decision.
After review, the call on the ball stand.
The call will stand for Stanford, so it was an attack error. John Gosti feels pretty good about using and getting the call. And we're even at 12. So Pepperdine, UCLA both 10-1. The Bruins tonight actually will be at Menlo tomorrow. Just beat UC Merced twice the last couple of days. BYU is hosting USC once again in Provo. Vanguard is at Menlo. Service error, side out to Pepperdine. The Waves have to lead 13-12. So with SC in third at 8-3. Brigham Young in fourth at 7-4. Stanford in fifth, 6-5. Vanguard in sixth at 5-6. Top 8 teams will go to the conference tournament in Provo, Utah. BYU hosting the Smith Fieldhouse. We do get a whistle, maybe a net against Stanford, and a point to Pepperdine, and it's 14-12. And that conference tournament will be played April 22nd through the 25th at BYU. Well, that's a big advantage for the Cougars. And to knock off USC last night, pretty impressive. And a service ace for Pepperdine, Cole Hartke. Cuban national team, the national team. Wolf drives it, covered by Pepperdine. Nice play by Ryan Barnett. On the other side, Gomez, ball popped up by Riley, and then the shot comes out short as Andre Polomas trying to go with a quick attack and a point to Stanford. Waves up 17-14, and David Wolf will serve. Waves at home this year, 10-2, 9-3 on the road. And for the Cardinal, they are 2-7 on the road. Again, come in, they have dropped their last 5, looking to turn things around. Polomas, the quick attack over the middle to Mate. The return goes out of bounds, and Noe Mate, the 6'7" freshman from Switzerland, gets the point. For Stanford, and we have mentioned that they have high expectations, but they've had so many injuries. Pepperdine has had a few, but for Stanford, they've had at least 4 starters out of the lineup due to injury. And key players will get the ball back. Aiden will come out. Jacob Riley checks in, the libero. He was at Concordia 2 years.
Luke Morrison back to zero for the Cardinal.
Now the Cardinal, they go to Luke Morrison, a 6'4" freshman out of Irvine, California, coming in to serve. Strong left-handed serve. Polomas on the backside. Hartke with a smash hit. 2015 Waves. See Hartke, the double blockers there. McFall along with Rotman, but not enough. So for Hartke, the realization that he's 6'10", you can put him in the back row. He can handle the ball extremely well. He's a strong blocker, power hitter, terrific serve. The block this time goes out of bounds. Stanford able to get the point. Moses Wagner getting the kill. They'll need a big performance from him. But with all the injuries, and we had mentioned that 4 starters have missed probably at least half the season for Stanford. It's been going on all season long. Gomez, but the return comes right back on the other side. Hartke takes a little off. Nice save by Porter. Rotman drills it and gets the point. Nice job by Stanford to keep the ball in play. Time and time again, that will be a key for them, as it was for Pepperdine last night. There you see Evan Porter, the sophomore libero, who leads the Cardinal with 145 kills. So Nate Clinton, an outside hitter who played last night and missed 41 sets. Taylor Sanui, their All-American outside hitter, he's missed 36 sets. Darren Bryant, the setter, had missed 39 sets. And Reed Wainwright, just getting back, and he is starting tonight, had missed 61 sets. So you lose 4 key players, and certainly takes its toll on your team throughout the season. Wasn't touched. And apparently Rotman's shot goes out of bounds. Attack air. 22-17 Pepperdine. But the Waves have had their injuries. Noe Mate, their freshman middle, as we get a timeout. Mate had missed 41 sets. We get a timeout, 22-17. But nothing like the start of this match. 5 aces and just 6 airs, and they may get another one. Can the Cardinal keep it in play? They cannot. Gomez closes it out with aces, and Pepperdine wins 25-17. And Pepperdine takes a 1-0 offense and defense, and Pepperdine will be moving right to left in their white, blue, and orange. Stanford in their black, Cardinal, and white. Cardinal serving to begin set number 2. Gomez goes cross court, and the shot no good. Cardinal takes a 1-0 lead. Waves this year with 11 shutouts. They've been shut out once, but we might get a challenge right off the bat. Yep, on the first point to begin set number 2. For Stanford, they have 6 shutouts, but they've been shut out 8 times. Again, trying to break a 5-match losing streak. Well, the call on the court was a tack air for Pepperdine, so the Waves using their challenge in this second set. The Waves, we're saying either it might have been good or might have gone out of bounds. We'll take a look. Jonathan Winder, in his 4th season, the MPSF Coach of the Year in 2025. Before coming to Pepperdine, he was the head coach at Fresno State for 4 years women's volleyball program. Also had a stop as an assistant at Washington on the women's side. Actually coached with Marv Dunphy as an assistant with the men in 2014. Played professionally in Europe. And now leading the Pepperdine program, the 4-time All-American from 2005 through 2008. 2007, Jonathan Winder, who was a 6'8 setter, was the National Player of the Year. Well, let's take a look. Gomez trying to go around the block of Wagner and McFall. Was it touched or was it in bounds? Well, that's tough to tell from that angle. You got all that lighting there also, which may be difficult to pick up for the officials. The up official is Tony Chan. The down official is Bert Fuller, 2 of the very best. Chan has worked the Final Four 5 different times as Bert Fuller continues to take a look. Gardner was given the point, lead 1-0. Better angle here. Didn't appear to be touched, but was it in bounds? Right. Oh, that's really close. Did it hit the line or did it go just past it? That's what the official has to take a look at. As John Costi along the sideline waits anxiously. We're going to get a decision here in a moment. Each coach gets 2 challenges per set. You win your challenge, you keep it. If you lose it, you're down 1. And the Waves are going to win the challenge. Apparently the ball was inbounds, and Pepperdine will get the point. As John Costi says, okay, he had a pretty good look at it. Good job by Pepperdine and Jonathan Winder and his team. And Gomez will be given the kill, and Pepperdine serving. Waves so good in that first set. Little Phillips is the setter, the freshman from Winter Park, Florida. Waves on offense, Hartke. Ball is popped up. Little Phillips sets up on the outside. Rotman with a rip, but the Waves cover. They go back to Hartke. This time he gets the kill. For Pepperdine, their serve, at least in the first set, have been a big difference. Waves, who did so many things well last night, and off to another great start. Against number 14, Stanford. Ball popped up. On the backside, it is Rotman. It comes back to Stanford, but then Wagner puts it down. Moses Wagner is such an important player. Without Teo Sanui, another All-American outside hitter, that really is a big loss for Stanford. Had over 400 kills last year, another All-American to go along with Wagner. And then the serve goes out of bounds, inside out to Pepperdine. 3-1 Waves. Stanford was named after the 8th governor of California, Leland Stanford. Founded back in 1885, a private research institution, private school like Pepperdine, with 17,500 students at Stanford. Good block up front by the Waves, and then once again the ball driven by Wolf. Waves able to control, volley back by Barnett. Porter gets a touch, quick attack over the middle, McFall at 6'9". Nice read by Little Phillips. Pepperdine gives up the serve, and it's 3-2 in favor of the Waves in the second set. So at Stanford, enrollment 17,500. At Pepperdine, it's about 8,000 students, so a smaller private school. But tuition at Stanford is $95,500 a year. Pepperdine, that was founded in 1937, as we mentioned, about 8,000 students, and their tuition is a little over $93,000 a year. Talk about inflation. That serve comes up short, 4-3 Pepperdine in the second set. For Stanford in other sports, they play out of the Atlantic Coast Conference, the ACC. Stanford located in Palo Alto, halfway between San Jose and San Francisco. Ryan Barnett with the kill, and the Waves up 5-3. Of course, Pepperdine located in Malibu, overlooks the Pacific Ocean. Such a nice day over the last couple days for Stanford visiting. They brought some family and friends down from Northern California. Waves up, serving Cole Hartke. Comes up short. Waves with 6 aces, 8 service errors. Stanford, no aces and 5 service errors. David Wolf serving for Stanford. 5-4 Pepperdine in the second set. Waves won the first set 25-17. Wolf jump serve. Back there is Riley. Back to Barnett, who pounds it down. Hartke already with 6 kills. Barnett with 3. Moses Wagner with 3, leading Stanford. The Waves get the ball back. Serving Evan Porter, receiving. They go back row to Wagner, blocked up front. Mate defending, tapped over there by McFall. And let's see, we're going to get maybe a net against Pepperdine and a point to Stanford. Next to 5, the Waves up. So playing out of the ACC. In other sports, Pepperdine in other sports plays out of the West Coast Conference, and they're going through a lot of changes. Nice dig, but nice effort by Riley, but it goes out of bounds. Well, the West Coast Conference loses Gonzaga, Oregon State, and Washington State to the newly formed Pac-12. They bring in the University of Denver this year, and then just announced UC Santa Barbara will join the conference in 2027, July 1st. And a service ace for Stanford, Reed Wainwright. 7-6, the Cardinal gets the lead. So besides Santa Barbara, UC San Diego, also out of the Big West. They leave the Big West and they join the West Coast Conference. The conference will have 12 schools in 2027. They'll have 10 in 2026. Hartke out of the back row. The Big West going through a lot of changes. They just lost Hawaii and UC Davis to the Mountain West Conference. McFall coming over a little bit late along with Rotman. And we're even at 7. So for the WCC, a lot of changes. Still have San Francisco, Santa Clara, Little Marymount, San Diego, Portland. A strong mid-major conference. Touch there by Mate. Big block up front, McFall. But the point goes to Stanford. Big defensive effort. Also Alex Rotman defending. Noe Mate will check out. 6'7" freshman from Switzerland. I mentioned he had been injured for about 5 weeks. And Mate had missed 41 sets on the year. Well, having a big season. Ball kept in play by Stanford. They're doing a better job in this match tonight than they did last night. Back row, Barnett with the hit. Little Phillips finds on the backside. Wagner gets the kill. Stanford 9, Pepperdine 7. And the Cardinal doing a much better job receiving and ball handling, despite the fact that the Waves have 6 aces. Stanford now with 2 aces. All right, Jacob Little Phillips, the setter, serving, and then off the blocks, McFall up front along with Wagner. And the Cardinal up 10-7. Seco Harkey. Ball did stay in bounds. Harkey diving, could not come up with it. And for the NBSF, next year they add the University of Pacific, bringing back men's volleyball. That comes up short. Inside out to Pepperdine. Pacific had played men's volleyball for 21 years and then dropped the sport 13 years ago. They will join the NBSF on January 1st, 2027, and it will give the conference 11 schools. It'll be the biggest men's volleyball conference in the country amongst the 8. Service error, point to the Cardinal, and it's 11-8 Stanford. Waves won the first set, 25-17. Waves the second most national titles with 5. Last time though in 2005, will this be the year? 12 teams in the NCAA tournament. Harkey with the block up front, McFall and Wagner defending on the other side. Tapped over by Gomez. It comes back to Stanford. Popped up. Waves keep it in play. Riley sets Harkey, who drives it. Porter gets a touch, but let's see. Waves are going to be given the point. So Pepperdine will be given the point, 11-9. Play was stopped, maybe a net, maybe double contact. Did not see a signal other than the whistle. And Pepperdine gets the point. Waves, such a strong serving team. The overpass by Porter comes back to Pepperdine. Barnett with a rip. Covered by Stanford. They go to Wagner, who drives it. Gomez back there, and then the stop by James Eady. But they're going to say maybe mishandling the ball against Pepperdine, and a point to Stanford. So they take it away, and the Cardinal up 12-9. It's just figured to be a much tougher match for Pepperdine, despite the win last night, 3-0. Luke McFall serving the middle blocker. Waves find Harkey, able to drive it. It's the fact that Stanford, motivated, comes in with a lot of intensity, energy, something to prove, trying to bounce back. Back there, Wolf defending. Waves serving. Little Phillips goes the quick attack over the middle. They joust at the net right there. Wainwright. Reed Wainwright, returning starter, missing 61 sets this year. Just starting to come back to get him back in the lineup. The 6'7" sophomore from Newport Beach with 358 last season. Big jump serve. Back there, Barnett to receive. It comes back to Barnett. Barnett gets the point, 13-11 Stanford. Firestone Fieldhouse, another big crowd tonight. They had over 1,000 last night here at the Dine. Capacity about 3,100. Waves number 5 in the country this week. UCLA continues to be the number 1 team. A service error. Side out to Stanford, and the Cardinal up 14-11. In second is Hawaii. They're ranked number 2, and Hawaii is going to win the Big West. They've already beaten Long Beach State and UC Irvine both twice, and both times in Long Beach and in Irvine. Hawaii ranked number 2, Long Beach State number 3, SC number 4, Pepperdine number 5, UC Irvine number 6. Ball kept in play. Little Phillips goes to the outside, driven there by Rotman. Pepperdine continues to control. Porter gets a touch. They go back to Rotman, the block up front. Big defensive effort. Noe Mate defending. You see number 4, the 6'7" freshman who gives the Waves a physical presence. Also, Andre Polomas. Polomas, the setter, came from Purdue. Fort Wayne, is having an All-American season. Just making great decisions. Oh, nice play by Little Phillips, the freshman setter. We get a timeout on the court. The Cardinals going left to right. Pepperdine volleys it over. Little Phillips on the backside. Wagner drives it. Returned by Pepperdine. It goes on the other side. Rotman. Barnett gets a touch. Harkey swings it, but it hits one of the beams and comes back, and a point to Stanford. Now the Waves able to get that hit back over from Wagner, able to drive it on the overpass. 16-12 Stanford trying to even this match. Reed Wainwright comes up short. Well, we mentioned UCLA, Hawaii, Long Beach State, SC Pepperdine, top 5. UC Irvine, 6. Ball State, 7. Santa Barbara ranked 8th, though. Chicago, 9th. Brigham Young, 10th. Couple Division II schools. McKendree out of Illinois, playing in the MIVA, ranked 11th. Lindenwood out of St. Charles, Missouri, a Division II school, also playing out of the MIVA. They are ranked number 12 in the country. Oh, a quick attack, McFall. Little Phillips doing a good job, the setter, the freshman out of Winter Park, Florida. Jacob Riley back in for Pepperdine. That's a quick attack, and McFall at 6'9". And McFall hitting .452 on the season. Comes in with 98 kills. Mentioned Noe Mate, who's missed probably almost half the season. Mate, number 4, leads Pepperdine, hitting .597 on the season. The freshman middle out of Switzerland, service error. 17-14, Pepperdine trailing in the second set. See Little Phillips, number 4, freshman setter. Waves get the ball back. Waves closed out the first set with 3 aces by Jose Gomez. Back row attack to Wolf. Ball is pinballed. Waves able to get it over on the hit by Barnett. Comes back to Wagner, who drives it, and it goes out of bounds. Waves get not control. Moses Wagner delivers his 5th kill.
Sub-7 for the Cardinal champion, number 10, Ryan Duras. Ryan Duras back to serve.
Ryan Duras comes in to serve. The 6'3" senior out of Gilroy, California. 18-14 Stanford. High toss, good jump serve. Pepperdine plays it. They find Harkey. Porter gets a touch but cannot control. So Harkey now with 10 kills. 18-15. Pepperdine down by 3. And Jose Gomez at the service line. Gomez with 3 kills, 3 aces, 5 digs. 6'4" sophomore from Cuba. Good jump serve. Little Phillips runs it down. They go to Wolf with the hit. Pepperdine covers. They go to Harkey, who scores. At 6'10". Harkey, last year's second-team All-American. A couple years ago, the number 1 high school recruit in the country. Out of Barrington, Illinois, about 25 miles outside of Chicago. Waves serving again, down 18-16. Quick attack by McFall. And Stanford ups their lead to 19-16. You see Jacob Riley. Riley with 4 digs. Jose Gomez with 5. Alex Rotman with 4 digs for Stanford. And 3 for David Wolf. It will be Luke McFall serving. 6'9" middle blocker. Jump Serve Gomez receives. Riley sets. Goes to Barnett. Cross court, but it goes out of bounds. Let's see if Winder wants to challenge this. Might ask his team about that. All right, Stanford serving Luke McFall. Cardinal trying to even this match. Waves up. Polomas finds Barnett. Big block up front by Wainwright along with Wagner, and then the attack here. And the Cardinal take a 5-point lead, 21-16. Cardinals serve also, which was effective last night, very effective tonight. They have 2 aces, just 8 errors, but they're, despite the fact they're not getting the aces, they're putting a lot of pressure on Pepperdine's offense. Location, that one goes out of bounds as they rolled the dice. 21-17, the Cardinal had a 3-0 run before that service error. You see Evan Porter, the libero. Porter with 5 digs, topping Stanford. All right, Aiden Toon comes in. He is an excellent server, outside hitter, the senior from Hawaii. Back row attack, able to score Alex Rotman. Little Phillips doing a nice job with the read. And it's 22-17 Stanford. You see Rotman now with 3 kills, Wagner with 5, making Rotman now with 4, and Reed Wainwright with 3.
Back to serve for Stanford, number 16, Luke Morrissey.
Right, Cardinals serving. Trying to get this match at 1 set apiece. Comes up short. That's the other big match involving the NBSF. Brigham Young hosting USC. Vanguard and playing at Menlo. BYU beat the Trojans last night 3-1 before 3,500 at Smith Fieldhouse. Tomorrow UCLA will play at Menlo. As the regular season winds down, next week UCLA will be home to Brigham Young for 2. Waves home and home against USC to close out the regular season. David Wolf with a kill. 23-18 Cardinal. And this is the number 14 team in the nation. Despite the record of 9-13, they are a much better team than the record would indicate. When healthy, one of the best teams in the country. They're preseason, the start of the year, they were ranked number 9. Pepperdine was number 4. The service error. Pepperdine hitting just .229 tonight. Stanford .271 in comparison to last night when the Waves hit .580. All right, the Waves back 23-19. And Barnett at the service line. Comes in with 33 aces, first team All-American last year. Quick attack over the middle by McFall. Waves keep it in play. Gomez goes deep, but it goes out of bounds. Waves are saying it may have been touched. Did the Wave challenge or not? Really not. It is set point number 1 for Stanford, 24-19. The Cardinals done a nice job in this second set. Hitting .393, only 1 attack error on 28 swings and 12 kills. Good jump serve. Back there is Wiley, waves over the middle. Mate. Andre Polomas with the assist. Now with 18. Set point number 2 for Stanford, 24-20. He's serving. This is Noe Mate. The jump floater. The ball movement. Porter back there. This is Moses Wagner. The hit goes long. No good. Set point number 3 for Stanford, 24-21. If Pepperdine gets this point, I think Stanford's got to take a timeout. It'll be a little too close for comfort. And we'll see. And Mate got to keep it in play. The jump floater. Little Phillips, the quick hitter. Waves able to control. They go to Gomez with the smash hit. Set point number 4, 24-22. Stanford has not taken the timeout, not yet. Costi will let his team play. Set point number 4 for the Cardinal. They cannot afford to let this get away. They're trying to rally. A jump floater. They go to Rotman, the block up front. James Eady and Andre Polomas. And now the timeout. The Cardinal waiting one more point. It's set ready for set number 3. Pepperdine will be moving left to right in their white, orange, and blue. And the Cardinal in their black, white, and Cardinal. For Stanford, who finished in 6th place last year at 4-8. There's Luke McFall, who's got 4 blocks tonight to go along with 3 kills. And playing well, the 6'9" middle. The Cardinal, who were picked 4th at the start of the season, and when healthy, they're a formidable team. So tough for teams to play back-to-back, and when you have 2 evenly matched teams like Stanford and Pepperdine, again, that slight advantage just might go to the team that loses the night before. If you're playing maybe a Division II school, all those advantage numbers and things you talk about may not come into play. All right, Pepperdine serving to begin the 3rd set. We're over an hour in the first 2 sets, so it's been quite a battle in this MPSF. The shot by Wagner is good. And the Cardinal takes a 1-0 lead. Great success for Stanford. They lead the NCAA in national championships in one sport or another with 138. And the most impressive accomplishment about that over the last 50 years, 5-0, Stanford has won at least 1 national title in one sport or another. 50 consecutive years, they just won another national title in March in artistic swimming. But to have a national title going back to 1976 is pretty impressive. Waves have national titles, not quite that many. Got 5 in men's volleyball, 2 in the men's golf. Baseball national title in 1992. Women and men's. Stanford Waves back on offense. Barnett cross court. Porter able to keep it in play, but unfortunately a little bit miscommunication and the ball drops and Pepperdine gets the point. And we're tied at 2. You see Evan Porter, the sophomore libero, out of Honolulu. Last year led the Cardinal with 190 digs. He has 145 this year, topping the team. Cardinal over the middle. McFall, but comes up short. They lead 3-2. Oh, a lot of notable alumni coming out of Stanford. We could talk about all the athletes, but some interesting people. Of course, you think of Stanford alum McFall with the hit, able to get the point. We're tied at 3. John F. Kennedy, former President of the United States. How about actresses Reese Witherspoon, Sigourney Weaver, of course, of Alien fame. And then Sergey Brin, the founder of Google. Yeah, he's a Stanford alumni. And Pepperdine's own athletic director, Tanner Gardner, who was a top wrestler back in the early 2000s at Stanford. He's the current Pepperdine AD in his 2nd year. All right, 4-3. Stanford starting to gain some confidence and a little bit of momentum and playing much better. Waves tied with UCLA for first place. Both teams 10-1. Bruins at Menlo tomorrow. Service here, we're even at 4. Waves still have a showdown with USC next week. UCLA will be home to Brigham Young for 2 matches next weekend. And for Stanford in set number 3. That one goes out of bounds. Service here. Waves with 6 aces and 12 errors. The Cardinal 3 aces, 13 errors. You talk with coaches, as Moses Wagner will be at the service line. They would like to see aces to error ratio about 1-2, maybe 1-3. So you have 3 aces, 9 errors. That's pretty good. Oh, Wainwright and Wolf with a big block. 6-4 Stanford. You see Harkey looking at doubles. Blockers were there. Harkey leading the NCAA in kills per set at 4.28. Waves Barnett able to drop it in.
Ryan Barnett splits the Stanford block. Point points.
First team All-American last year and over 400 kills last season and 47 aces. Comes up short. Waves, whose serve in the first set was the difference. Now they can move up. Jessup and Concordia have the 7 and 8 positions. Concordia 4 and 8. Jessup at 3 and 9. Vanguard at 5 and 6 in the number 6 position. Waves getting the point. We're even at 7. Noe Mate serving for Pepperdine. Ethan Watson comes in for the Waves, number 12. A couple years ago, he was the NBSF Freshman of the Year. Watson, 6'8", junior out of Sunnyvale, California. All right, Rotman with a smash hit.
Swinging kill the left set for Stanford at number 5. That likes Rotman, point Cardinal. Back to serve for Stanford at number 12.
8-7 Cardinal. Polomas coming over a little bit late, along with Watson. Cardinal serving. A strong serve by Wolf on the backside. Hartke pounds it down. Polomas has 21 assists tonight. And for Jacob Little-Phillips, he has 19. The freshman setter for Stanford. Polomas, 6'6", a junior from Serbia. A lot of international experience. Wearing number 5 for Pepperdine. Transfer from Purdue, Fort Wayne, and the Cardinal able to score. And their offense starting to click. They have a 9-8 lead. Moses Wagner now with 8 kills, hitting .333. Last night he led the team with 11 kills, but he hit only .138. He had 7 attack errors on 29 swings, but not tonight. Over the middle, and that is Ethan Watson. We'll see Watson, a 2-year starter. Waves who won last night, 3-0 by hitting .580, but it's a different story tonight. Tied at 9. Waves serving. Cardinal on the offensive. Wagner with a rip off the blocks and scores. Hartke defending along with Watson. And Wagner was an All-American last year. He is one of 8 players designated by the ABCA as the National Player of the Year semifinalist, along with Pepperdine's Cole Hartke. Is down to 8 players, 5 out of the NBSF, to be the National Player of the Year in 2026. Wolf with the hit. Pepperdine's Polomas, the quick attack by Watson. Covered there by Little Phillips, and then the shot by Wagner, attack air. He had a good look, just missed it. We're even at 10. Pepperdine won the first set, 25-17. The Cardinal came back with a 25-23 win. Watson with the floater. On the backside. And off the blocks. Waves coming up big defensively on Wagner. Ryan Barnett. 11-10 Pepperdine. And the double blockers. Mate also back on defense. Waves such a strong blocking team all season long. Blocking their opponents 378 to 251. Cardinal keep it in play. Pepperdine. There's the high set to Hartke, who drops it over. And the Cardinal was ready for it, but the timing wasn't there. McFall and Wolf. Hartke gets the point, and the Waves up 12-10. Ranked number 5 in the nation. They've been as high as 3. Tied for first place with UCLA. Both teams at 10-1. Out of the back row. And that is Rotman, but let's see. Back row violation against the Cardinal, and a point to Pepperdine. Waves on a 3-0 run and leading 13-10. Ethan Watson at the service line. With the floater serve. This is Wolf driving it. Ball hits one of the beams and comes back. And no play by Pepperdine, and a point to Stanford. You see Reed Wainwright, who's missed so much of the season, to get him back in the lineup. Been like that all season long for Stanford. There's the Waves also with a couple of injuries, but they've been able to overcome that. Over the middle, the quick attack by Mate. Gives Pepperdine a physical presence, a lot of international experience. 6'7" freshman from Switzerland. Besides basketball, men and women's volleyball has become international as well. Harkey tries to go for it all, and it goes long. Side out Stanford, 14-12, Pepperdine.
Steps here on the floor for the Cardinal Venturi, number 23, Aaron Bryant. Also on the floor, number 9, Eric S. Back to serve number 23.
So the Cardinal, they bring in Theron Bryant, the 6'3" setter, the senior out of San Jose. Starting setter from last year. He's had some injuries. Started last night, played throughout the match. Last year averaged better than 10 assist percent. His numbers are down. Back row, Jose Gomez. We get an official's timeout. Pepperdine with the lead in and was touched, and a point to Stanford. What a big difference. 15-13 Pepperdine. Waves won the first set, 25-17. David Wolf to serve for the Cardinal. Played well tonight. Cardinal winning the second set, 25-23. Cardinal ranked number 14 in the country. Polomas, the quick attack over the middle. Noe Mate. He's missed about 5 weeks of the season. Finally healthy. He's hitting .597 on the year with 49 kills. And tonight he has 4 kills, 4 attempts, no attack errors. He has 3 blocks and an assist. Number 4 for Pepperdine, Rotman off the blocks. 16-14 Pepperdine. You see Luke McFall, 6'9" middle back in the lineup for defense. Reed Wainwright to serve for Stanford. Waves Polomas to run it down. Block up front, goes out of bounds. As Gomez took a little bit off that and mistimed by Stanford, and the Waves lead 17-14. Tried to overpower McFall. More Rotman. Eric Askett comes in for Stanford. 6'9" freshman. This is an outside hitter from Sweden. Stanford goes international, 17-14. Waves says jump serve is no good by Polomas. Waves still with 6 aces. They had 5 in the first set. And now with 15 service errors, still better than a 1-to-3 ratio. I mentioned coaches like to see 1-to-2, 1-to-3 ace to error ratio. You get 3 aces, 9 errors, that's still pretty good. Cardinal 3 aces, 13 errors. More than 1-to-4. Waves to the outside, Harkey drills it, the return, and then Harkey with the put away. But it goes out of bounds, no good. Next they call the net. 17-16 Pepperdine. The ball was good, but with the touch at the net, takes away the point. Jump floater. Back to Harkey, goes deep, and he gets it. Pepperdine 18, Stanford 16. Harkey now with 14 kills, hitting .357 tonight. 4 digs, a block, and 2 aces. 28 swings and 4 tag errors. Gomez was 7, Barnett was 6. Waves a well-balanced attack. Jose Gomez, jump serve, ball is pinballed, volleyed over by Wolf. Pepperdine gets it back, and then Ryan Barnett with a put away.
Ryan Barnett with authority.
Barnett with a big kill. Championship at UCLA this year, May 9th and 11th. The tournament begins May 1st and 2nd. Top 12 teams. Stanford on the offensive. Luke McFall with the kill. 1917 Waves. After this season, the national championship for men's volleyball will, in 2027 and 2028, will be in Las Vegas at the Orleans Arena. Well, things are changing this year at UCLA. And there'll be at least 12 teams in 27 and 28. Who knows, maybe more. Currently, there are 8 conferences playing men's volleyball. Waves able to get the hit, but covered by Porter. Comes back to Wolf, popped up by Riley. They jousted the net. Barnett is there. Taken by the Cardinals, the overpass. Pepperdine gets it back. Harkey, the block is no good. Wolf and McFall, and Harkey gets the point. Jonathan Winder along the sidelines. 2025 NPSF Coach of the Year. Rotman back in for Stanford. 2017 Pepperdine. It will be an excellent conference tournament at Brigham Young, the 22nd through the 25th. Wave serving. Stanford back on offense. Wolf the block up front. Mate and Hartke on the other side. Tapped over by Wagner, but could not get it over the net. Blockers were there. He tried to take something off of it. Andre Polomas, the 6'6" center from Serbia, the transfer from Purdue, Fort Wayne. 21-17 Waves. Aiden Toon once again with a strong serve, and he gets himself an ace. Boy, Aiden Toon coming off the bench, providing a lift for Pepperdine at the service line. 22-17 Pepperdine. Stanford takes a timeout. The Waves are up by 5 in this third set. You're watching the NPSF on Big Ten by Pura Vida. You see the numbers. Waves trying to go up 2-1. This has been a much tougher match as we figured it would be. As Stanford's play with a lot of intensity, emotion, and energy, and played well. They go over the middle to McFall, gets the point. Match is over an hour and 30 minutes, and we're just finishing up set number 3. Cardinal serving. You see David Wolf, number 15, Reed Wainwright, 12. Moses Wagner, number 11, up front. Waves lead 22-18. Waves hitting .550 in this third set. Cardinal 174, but it's close. And then the stuff there kept in play by Stanford, but maybe, let's see, finally we hear a whistle. And the ball going out of bounds. And a point to Pepperdine. Waves had stopped for a moment. I think the ball may have touched the antenna. Delayed whistle, but the Waves get the point, and Cole Harkey at the line. Couple of aces tonight. He leads Pepperdine with 40 service aces. Cardinal to Wolf. Riley hits the beam, and that one goes over to the other side. It's going to be an interesting, because that ball should have been in play. Now the winner. Riley hit one of the beams that went to the other side. And the rule basically, unless it comes back to the same side, that would be in play, but it did hit the beam and then went on the other side, a point to Stanford. Now the winner wanted to clarify that. Big point for Stanford, 23-19, Waves over the middle. Mate. Set point number 1 for Pepperdine, 24-19. Good crowd again. We got probably over 1,000 on hand here on this Saturday evening. A big jump serve by Hartgate. Back row attack to Rock on the year. 6'4" sophomore from Cuba. 2-0 Pepperdine in the fourth set. And Stanford, nice effort tonight, battling Pepperdine on the road, where the Waves are 10-2 in this building. Waves at Cole Hartgate. 3-0 Pepperdine. I think if the Waves run this up to 4 or 5 to start this fourth set, I think Stanford's got to take a timeout. You just cannot afford to get too far behind, especially being down 2-1 and being on the road against the 5th-ranked team in the country. Take a little bit off. Cardinal finding Rotman, but that gets away and goes out of bounds. 4-0 Pepperdine. John Costi looks on. Waves up 2-1. Our officials tonight: Tony Chan, the up official; Bert Fuller, the down official. Two of the very best in men's volleyball. Booming serve by the Waves. McFall's hit, but the Waves able to control. It goes back to Barnett, who drives it. Wolf on the overpass. They joust up front. It's pinballed, and then Wagner missed it. Point to Pepperdine. Swings and 2 attack errors. Hitting percentage. Attack percentage kills minus errors divided by attempts. It gives you your hitting percentage. Pepperdine to Barnett, who drives it down the sidelines, and a point. Pepperdine 6, Stanford 1. Double blockers, McFall and Wagner. Waves come in, they have won 12 of the last 14 matches, and there are only 2 losses during that stretch. Number 1 UCLA and number 2 Hawaii. And that match in Honolulu. And lost to UCLA at Pauley Pavilion. Waves beat Hawaii in Honolulu the first match, and then they also beat UCLA here in Malibu. All right, 6-2 Pepperdine. Stanford serving. Back there Gomez to receive. Mate with the stuff. Noe Mate. That was 6 kills on 6 swings. No attack errors. Hitting 1,000. Also has 3 blocks. Diggs, the Waves have the edge, 27-23. A point, David Wolf for Stanford. 7-3 Pepperdine. Cross court pass the Waves at triple blockers there. Mate, Barnett, and Polomas. It still wasn't enough. 7-3 Pepperdine. The fourth set over the middle. Mate able to pound it down. And he gives the Waves a physical presence. 6'7" freshman from Switzerland. Just about 5 weeks with an ankle injury, but once they got him back healthy, he makes a big difference. 8-3 Waves. High toss, Barnett locks him, fires. Popped up, quick attack, the block up front on Wainwright. The Waves get it back. It goes to Gomez off the blocks. Little Phillips along with Wolf and Wainwright, not enough. 9-3 Pepperdine. So special thanks to our entire Game On Entertainment crew. Our director tonight, Kelly Rosales, doing a terrific job on this Saturday, producing. Archie Coruscani, Connor Mendoza, Kristen Elizondo, and Kristen Soler. Special thanks to Kelly Nugent out of the Pepperdine Athletics Communications Department. 9-4, service error. Pepperdine leading, David Wolf to serve. And the Waves with USC next week. There's Stanford to play at Menlo twice. UCLA will host Brigham Young twice at Pauley Pavilion. Service ace, 9-5, Cardinal trail. And tonight, of course, the big match, Brigham Young hosting USC. Also Vanguard and Menlo. Top 8 teams of the conference tournament, April 22nd to the 25th in Provo, Utah. Brigham Young will host. Service here. 10 by Pepperdine. Waves trying to get their 20th win of the season, coming in at 19-5. They went 21-10 last year, won the NBSF Conference Tournament. Waves have not won the regular season, however, since 2018. They had David Wyzort. 10-5, Pepperdine up in the fourth set. And there's Moses Wagner with a kill. Cardinal at 9-13. Again, much better than the record would indicate with all those injuries. Double blocked a little bit late there. Ethan Watson still in the lineup for Pepperdine. 10-6. And Reed Wainwright at the service line, the middle blocker. Riley receives outside to Gomez. Polomas just continues to run the offense to perfection. Waves passing, receiving, been so good tonight. Waves in this set hitting .667, 6 kills, 9 swings, no attack errors. And Stanford hitting 111 service error. 11-7 side out to Stanford. Harkey with 16 kills, Barnett with 9, Gomez with 9, Mate with 7. It was now 7 kills, 7 swings, no attack errors, hitting 1,003 blocks. He's hitting .597 on the year. Doesn't have enough sets or attempts to be qualified for the national leaders. Then we're going to get a point to Stanford.
His attack goes in the intent of point Stanford.
11-8 Pepperdine. Take a look at this. Ball pinballed. Jacob Little Phillips, the setter. The freshman out of Florida. Tapped over there by Watson, who was able to get the point. This time by Stanford. Pepperdine 12, Stanford 8.
Jose Gomez meant to serve.
Wave serving. Nice crowd on hand on this Saturday evening. They're expecting rain later tonight, maybe tomorrow. But today about 70 degrees, a lot of sunshine, blue skies. Slight breeze coming off the ocean as Gomez serve goes long. And it's 12-9 and the Cardinal within striking distance. A little bit of a run. They jumped out to a 5-0 lead in this fourth set. Wagner with the jump serve. On the backside, Harkey pounds it down. Covered by Stanford. They go to McFall, who gets the point. 12-10 Pepperdine. Let's see if the Waves decide to take a timeout. We might wait for one more point. The Cardinals settling down in this fourth set after falling behind early, 5-0. Took a little bit off. Pepperdine backside to Harkey, goes deep and scores. Polomas on that tough back set. That's not easy. Wolf was there along with McFall, but Harkey, one of the top power hitters in the country. And the serve is called an ace. 14-10 Pepperdine for the Waves, their 9th ace of the match against 19 service errors. On the backside, Wagner able to drive it, Waves, Mate. Porter gets a touch. Ball kept in play. Shot attempt to Moses Wagner is good. Big hit by Wagner. And it's 14-11. Pepperdine up. Waves in this set, and in 6:43, they have yet to commit an attack error. They have 9 kills on 14 swings and a service ace. Moses Wagner leading Stanford with 11 kills, Cole Harkey, 17. Topping Pepperdine, Jose Gomez with 10. Ryan Barnett with 9. Luke McFall at the service line. It's 14-12. And the Cardinal back by only 2. But down 2-1 on the road, and then a service error. For the Cardinal, 5 aces, 15 errors. See Evan Porter. Cole Harkey will be at the service line. (15-12) Pepperdine. Strong jump serve. And firing away is Wolf, but the shot no good. 16-12 Pepperdine. He's coached by Jonathan Winder in his 4th season. Associate head coaches Matthew Pollock and Luke Reynolds, assistant Will Kraft. Harkey again with the power serve on the backside. That is Wagner with the kill. Wave 16, Cardinal 13. As Bryant comes back in to serve. Starting setter from last year, injuries this season. Eric Ask back in the lineup for Stanford wearing number 9. 6'9" freshman from Sweden. Bryant gets himself an ace. And a great substitution by John Gosti. It's 16-14. The Cardinal back by only 2. Bryant once again. Take a little bit off. Waves, a nice job by Gomez to keep it in play. Touching it is Bryant. The block up front by Pepperdine against Wolf. The ball kept in play. The Waves get it over. It comes back to Bryant. The quick attack. And Reed Wainwright with the point. It's 16. Last year at 47 aces. This season with 34. Strong jump serve. Bryant able to get a touch, but the Waves will get the point. The Cardinals struggle with that serve. Barnett putting a lot of pressure on Stanford. So with the Cardinal, they've taken out the freshman Jacob Little-Phillips, the setter, and brought in Theron Bryant, who was the starter last season, was starting this year, but then had injuries. 18-15 Pepperdine. This one comes up short. Side out to Stanford. Waves will go to the bench. They'll bring in Ford Harmon, the 6-foot redshirt freshman, the transfer from Long Beach State when he was on the national championship team last year. 18-16 Pepperdine. Harmon comes in for ball handling. Waves go to Harkey out of the back row and able to cross court, driving it. And a point by Ryan DeRoss, number 10, just in the lineup. The Cardinal playing a number of different players in this 4th set. You've got Ask and DeRoss. 19-17 Pepperdine with the lead, up 2-1. Riley able to receive, and then over the middle, Ethan Watson. Watson has come off the bench and played well. His 3rd kill. Andre Polomas to serve, and he comes up short. 2018 Pepperdine. Moses Wagner back in. And Jacob Little-Phillips, the freshman setter, will check back in and serve. Waves 20, Cardinal 18. Waves won last night, 3-0. He's trying to keep place and stay in first place as UCLA at Menlo tomorrow. Waves on offense over the middle. Waves go back out this time to Harkey, who fires away. 21-18 Pepperdine. Waves in this set hitting .647, 11 kills, 17 swings, no attack errors. Waves hitting .389 for the match, Stanford 198. Moses Wagner with 12 kills, leading Stanford. Waves serving, Porter with a touch. DeRoss, he tried to make the pass, the overpass, serving, moving right to left, and they're white, orange, and blue. Goes to Wagner, pounds it off the blocks. Moses Wagner with his 13th kill. Stanford using Eric Ask, who has played in 25 sets, and Ryan DeRoss, who's played in 55. More of a good ball handler. The Cardinal going to their bench. 22-19. Cardinals serving, trying to make a late run. DeRoss with the serve. Waves Barnett with a rip. Diving effort there by Little Phillips to keep it in play. Pepperdine gets it back. They go to Barnett, who sends it over. Back row attack and firing away. DeRoss. So it's 22-20 Pepperdine. Great plays on both sides. DeRoss was up the ladder. Listed at 6'3", the senior out of Gilroy, California. Jump serve. Waves over the middle. Played by Stanford. They go to Wolf, who misfires. The shot no good. Point to Pepperdine. Wolf had a good look. The pass was there. 23-20 Pepperdine. Aiden Toon comes in for Pepperdine to serve. Graduate senior from Hawaii. 6 aces on the year, but more impressively, usually able to keep the ball in play. 6 aces, only 7 service errors all season long. Puts some pressure on Stanford. On the backside, Wagner able to send it over. Pepperdine controls to Barnett. They joust at the net, and Pepperdine gets the point. They're going to call over the net against Stanford. Match point for Pepperdine, 24-20. Give John Costi talking to the down official, Bert Fuller, that's going to be challenged, saying the ball may have been touched by Pepperdine. If nothing else, you get a timeout without calling a timeout. It will be challenged. Ball on the court was Pepperdine ball. Bert Fuller talking with Jonathan Winder, the head coach of the Waves, explaining the challenge by John Costi, and maybe the official saw something also. Winder says finds it hard to believe. It was a joust at the net. The call was against Stanford, who had 3 blockers there. The call was over the net, but she is way over the net. And then Barnett trying to get the hit. The call will stand. Great job by our camera crew, our director Kelly Rosales, capturing that one. Stanford definitely way over the net. Match point number 1, 24-20. Right, Waves serving. Aiden Toon with the jump serve. Quick attack, and then Luke McFall gets the kill. Match point number 2. It's 24-21. Waves out in front. Jacob Riley back in for Pepperdine.
Back to serve for Stanford is point number 22, Luke McFall.
Luke McFall's got to keep it in play. So match point number 2 for Pepperdine. McFall's played well tonight. Got 8 kills. Waves get the hit and getting the kill. Noe Mate, and Pepperdine wins. Pepperdine prevails 3-1 as Noe Mate gets the last point, and Pepperdine wins it 25-21. The teams will congratulate each other. Waves go to 20-5.